So it has been a couple of months since we last caught up with our buddy FouseyTube. At one time Yusuf was arguably the biggest creator on YouTube. But now he has hit rock bottom more times than I can count. Last time we talked, Fousey was experiencing his annual crash out. Only this time things got even more explosive than usual, with him going off and attacking several of his employees both physically and mentally.
No, Adam Brown, you get the fuck out of my house! What? Will try to come to my face and I paid for it with a job that was going to change your life. Yeah, because you ain't worth shit. Go work at Chuck E. Cheese, faggot. Suck my fucking dick. Come here, make me something. Make me something. Really? Something.
Like even his own family was not spared in his quest for someone to blame for his failures.
Muslim, you guys put me on this earth, Baba, but now I'm 34, so I'm living my own life. So Baba, this is the last you're ever gonna see me. I live in Australia now.
It's just hilarious to me how someone can go from trying to present themselves as a beacon of positivity and pursuing your dreams, and then the very next day the dude goes against everything that he preaches, develops a massive ego overnight, and pretty much walks around as if he was a god on earth who can abuse and treat anyone around him like a peasant. I've known individuals like this who treat people around them like crap when they feel like it, and then they try and play it off or play the victim later like nothing ever. These types of people almost always end up alone or with their lone victim who endures that type of abuse. But this is really just the Fousey cycle at this point. First he's down and out, humble and begging for pity. At this stage, he's likely reconnected with God and his family. Then he starts to get some fame again, some clout online, maybe lands a few collaborations with bigger content creators. He then starts to get some money and immediately turns to material possessions for validation. And then his true self kinda starts to leak out. He may say something to the effect that he's going to be the biggest entertainer in the entire world, or maybe he's gonna put on some massive events and then he destroys his life. Like a horrific plane crash that leaves no survivors.
I'm not even gonna sit here and say sorry but I'm trying to explain to y'all, now that my adrenaline dumped and I'm back to Yusuf, and I open Twitter and I see what Fousey did, I'm like...
Well, now Fousey has announced his new career, proclaiming that the Fousey character he created as Yusuf is dead and never coming back.
Not me. You're not me. Okay? You're not.
But before we get into his continued horrible choices...
This dude should be starting a family or running a business by now. Filthy rich with his entire life situated after being handed the world on a silver platter. So it's hard to ask me why Aiden never shout me out like I'm supposed to give a. He was making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month for years. And instead of investing any of it or building something away from YouTube and his Fousey persona, he overspent renting an LA condo. He spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on massage parlors and other useless material possessions like jewelry and cars. And now this guy is still out here begging for crumbs at the bottom of the degenerate streaming barrel. I mean, seriously, compare him to someone like Roman Atwood, his longtime friend who had a very similar career trajectory as Fousey. The two even went on a damn world tour together and were co-headliners. But one guy was smart with his money. He never crashed and burned, and now he's just older with his wife and his family and building businesses, running a podcast, and basically just doing whatever the **** he wants. I'm sure he could walk away from the internet tomorrow. That is how it should be when you're blessed with so much wealth in such a short period of time. But obviously, there's always another side to the coin. And that is the life of Yusuf. So now he's changing his name and his online persona from Fousey to Crash Out YSC. And in his first single titled First Day Out, he filmed a video of his funeral that was directed by King Bark of all people. Yes, like I'm talking about the one dude from Vine who no one has heard from for the last decade. The poor guy must be down so bad that he's taking this type of work. In the video, Fousey is basically throwing a pity party for himself before he breaks out of a coffin to stick it to his haters and tell them that he's not going anywhere. Questioning where his real friends were when he was down and out. I don't know something about the guy who rode Drake for the greater part of the last 10 years. At one time even trying to make himself into a carbon copy of him using Kendrick Not Like Us reference just doesn't sit right with me. But hey, I guess it makes about as much sense as this entire era of Fousey.
my life. Don't take life for granted, because one day what's guaranteed is we're all going to be inside one.
And keep in mind, guys, this single was supposed to be his big moment that he has been teasing for months. But when it came out, it actually got less than 50,000 views in the first day, and even days after it being covered by some of the biggest streamers and content creators, it has only racked up around 175,000 views. Keep in mind this is uploaded on his main channel that has over 10 million subscribers, meaning not even 2% of those people were willing to click on this video, and I truly believe that most of the people who did tune in were just there to see how bad it could truly be. Like even the basic fundamentals of making a song sound decent, like proper mixing and mastering and layering of the track, are really nowhere to be found. In fact, the video appears to have been edited on CapCut, so I'm guessing that he mixed this shit himself in GarageBand. I mean, it truly sounds putrid. And it's really funny, because this isn't even the first time that Fousey has tried his hand at music. Around 6 years ago, he had a song with DJ Khaled that was far more popular than this will ever be. But once again, I guess this is all part of the long never-ending cycle that he puts himself through every year. One day, we will totally see a 60-year-old Fousey crashing out on the latest trend. At the end of the day, I really do feel like streaming was just about the worst thing that someone like Fousey could have stumbled upon. The guy is obviously impulsive, he's destructive, and constantly having to engage with a live community that he's trying to entertain so that he can go viral is a recipe for disaster for someone like him. And on the other hand, rapping is also considered a young man's game, and nothing that he is bringing to the table here really tells me that we should take him seriously at all. I mean, I would say this guy used to be considered somewhat of an inspiration. Someone who at the very least attempted to wear their faults on their sleeve. The guy has deep-root identity issues, a problem with social validation, and ultimately he's always been driven by a deep sense of insecurity. I mean, it's one thing for like an 18 to 25-year-old person to still be acting this way. But this guy is damn near middle-aged, still embarrassing himself online for a pretty minuscule amount of money that he could have been making passively if he just would have been smart at all about any investment back in the day. I mean, like if he would have been investing back then, like in 2012 through 2017. Oh my god, that money would be compounding and making so many more little money bags. But no, instead the guy wanted jewelry. He wanted all this bullshit. And even now when he touches money, he still does the exact same thing. He's asking his audience, oh, what supercar should I buy this week? Or I guess I should say likely rent. Either way, I want to know what you guys think about the latest update on Fousey. I do want to thank you guys for watching today's video and dropping a like. Maybe sharing with a friend.